everyone, bright Yuletide blessings to you. Welcome back to Belle's Books. I'm Carly and today I'm going to do my Christmas book haul with you. Now I've got I think about 16 books to get through, so I might do this in two parts. Let's see how we get on. I hope you've all had a lovely Yuletide, whatever you got up to. I had a lovely one with family. I was hosting. We had 9 people for dinner and it went well. But I was exhausted by 8 o'clock and fell asleep on the sofa, even though I really wanted to watch a programme about M.R. James. I don't know if you saw it. It was with Mark Gatiss. And I was like, I desperately want to watch this about M.R. James because I love ghost stories. Anyway, I might go back to that. So that was my Christmas. I'm going to crack on with the books that I received for Christmas. I was a very lucky girl. I got very spoilt by all my family because they know I love receiving books for Christmas. So first up, I received the Almanac for 2020, which is a seasonal guide. Now I got this one last year and I really, sorry, the light's a bit rubbish in here because yeah, my light is just not good. I got this last year and I love them because it's month by month and there's lots of different things in here. So if I show you, there's like the kitchen garden, seasonal things to eat, so like what's in season for vegetables and fruit. There's like moon, like little moon charts and stuff, and tides, so there's things about the sea. It's just lovely, and there's all like a little bit of like recipes and gardening by the moon, which I'm very into because of my allotment. And it's got these beautiful little illustrations in for each month. It's just super cute. So I love looking at each new calendar month, looking through it and seeing what's going on in this month. And sometimes there's a little bit of folklore or a bit of poetry or stuff. So it's just lovely. It's just a lovely gift to get for Christmas. So I was super chuffed to get this one again. Where am I going to put these? I have no room in here. Then Dan bought me the Virago Book of Witches because I dropped a very big hint and was like, Dan, I really want this for Christmas. So I think this is fairly new because I saw it at the library that I work at and I was like, oh, I'll have a look at that. And it's just, I think it's just about folklore surrounding witches, various kind of forms that they take and all their different names. A history of witchcraft, basically. So if I hold it up and I will show you, and if you can see that. So we've got, what we got first of all, alluring women and ailing knights, wise old women. That's what I'm aiming for. That's my goal in life. Witches in love, possessive women and devoted wives, transformations, guardians of the season and elements, witchy devices, cauldrons, broomsticks, and trysts with the devil. I'm just like right up my street. I love all of this stuff. So I'm very excited to dip in and out of this throughout the year. Yay, witches. In a similar vein, my mate Holly brought me Waking the Witch. Do you see a theme here? Reflections on women, magic and power. Now this is, I think, part memoir and part guide to opening yourself up to witchcraft. So I'm very much looking forward to getting into this. Well, all of these. I'm going to say that about every one of them. But I'd not heard of this before, and now it's very rare that someone buys me a book that I really like the look of that I haven't heard of before. So well done, Holly. Kudos for that, because this looks amazing. Katie's just woken up. She's down there on the floor. Hello, Katie. It's not meat time yet, no. Next, I got Wakenhurst by Michelle Paver. Now, I've heard lots of good things about this on BookTube. It's a very gothic tale set in Suffolk, which is very near to where I live. And I think it's set in a big house. Some kind of devil awakening happens. And I think it's set over 5 centuries. So like a historical novel. I'm down for all of that. Sounds amazing. I'm very excited to get to this. I really wanted to read this kind of as soon, I would ask for it for Christmas. I really wanted to read this as soon as I got it. But now I've got this whole host of books here. I need advice, guys. Help me pick what to read first. But this one super high on my list for this time of year. Then another surprise from Dan. He got me Living in Squares, Loving in Triangles, The Lives and Loves of Virginia Woolf and the Bloomsbury Group by Amy Licence. Now, again, I had not heard of this, but it is right up my street. I love Virginia Woolf and I love knowing about the Bloomsbury Group and everything they got up to. So I think this is about Virginia and her sister Vanessa, and they had very unconventional marriages because Virginia Woolf was married to Leonard Woolf, who was more like her carer, like he took care of her and looked after her, but she had a love affair with Vita Sackville West. And I think, I don't know so much about Vanessa, but I think she was a little bit the same. So she was married, but she had extramarital affairs, and that was just like cool. That was the done thing in Bloomsbury at that time. Everyone was like, yeah, whatever. So I am very excited to hear more about that. So well done, Dan. That was an excellent find. In the same, a similar vein, I received Gentleman Jack, which is a biography of Anne Lister by Angela Steedle. I don't know if I've said that right. I've heard lots of good things about this. I know Simon from Savage Reads have just read this and said it was excellent. My lovely cousin Lulu bought this for me. Thank you, Lulu. And I watched the series, which I loved, and I really wanted to find out more about Anne Lister. So I'm very excited to get into this. So I think it's based on her diaries, because she kept lots of diaries, as the series told. So it's her diaries and just a biography about Anne Lister. Amazing. Oh, Katie's on the move. Are you getting up? No, she's just turning around. Then my lovely dad bought me Clarice Lispector, Near to the Wild Heart. I've only read one of Clarice Lispector's books, and it's quite experimental. So this is what I'm doing for my PhD. I'm looking at experimental writing written by women. And I don't know if this is the same. This is her novel. I think this was her first novel. Yeah, it was her debut novel. And she's kind of been compared to like James Joyce and those modernist writers, because she does innovative things with the novel form. So this novel is about a woman, Joanna, and I think it's like a coming of age story, because it says it starts when she's a child, and she writes poems for her father, and then she gets married and is like making her way in the world. So, and it's only a little novel. It's like just under 200 pages. So I'm intrigued to get to this. Hopefully I'll be able to use it as background for my PhD. Next, another gem from Dan, which I was not expecting. He got me A Little Feminist History of Art. I was super amazed and chuffed to get this, by Charlotte Mullins. I mean, the cover is, I can't look at it because it makes me go, a fork in the eye. Not nice, but I am very excited to get into looking at this, because it's got all kinds of feminist art. Amazing. I think it's throughout 1940s, 1930s, right up to the present day by the looks of it. So amazing, with some pictures of the artists and their work and a little bit about them. So yeah, super chuffed with that. Lovely, excellent book surprises. Another one that I asked for was The Adventures of Maud West, Lady Detective, which is a non-fiction by Susanna Stapleton. Again, heard lots of good things about this. Sorry if you can hear some music. Dan is in the other room in his studio, laying down a track. He's making an EP, so he's always singing. Anyway, enough of that, Dan. The Adventures of Maud West, Lady Detective. Now, I've heard this is kind of reads a bit like a novel. I assume it's like a biography about her and what she got up to. But it sounds like almost it could be fiction, because it's bonkers and it's like you wouldn't think it's true. So I'm really intrigued to get to this one, and this kind of thing I think is good for this time of year. Mysteries and whodunits and all that kind of exciting things, and I love anything that's like historical. I think, when is it set? 1905. Oh, lovely. So yeah, well chuffed with this. That was from my my lovely mother-in-law, Dan's mum, Sue. Thanks, Sue. Then another one on my wish list, Erin Morgenstein's The Starless Sea. It's just beautiful. Look at it. And the key, what is it? The key, the bee and the sword. And the end papers on here are just beautiful. So you've probably heard about this, but it is the story of Zachary Rawlins, who stumbles across a book hidden in a university library, and it says on its pages the tales of lovelorn prisoners, lost cities and nameless acolytes, but they contain something impossible, a recollection from his own childhood. I love stuff like this. So anything to do with mysteries and books, and where books contain something to do with the protagonist, you're like, what? How did that happen? Amazing. I'm super excited to read this. I bought this for my mate Holly for Christmas as well. So if she's up for it, I'm hoping she's going to do a buddy read with me. It's a big old beast, this one. How many pages is it? Like 500 pages. But I love the night circus. I really love the kind of the world that she built in the night circus. So I'm hoping this is going to be something similar where you can just totally get lost in it. So yeah, super excited about that one. Then, oh, don't drop them. I received All the Lives We Ever Lived by Catherine Smith, Seeking Solace in Virginia Woolf. Oh, now, I can't remember where I heard about this. I think it might have been when I was at Birkbeck at a lecture or something, because it appealed to me for two reasons. One is about Virginia Woolf and seeking solace in Virginia Woolf's texts. So Catherine Smith looks at To the Lighthouse, which I only read last year, I think. And she uses that text, as far as I can understand it, to help her mourn her father. So it's about grief and looking at Virginia Woolf's writing to help her get over the loss of her father. Well, not get over it, but, you know, come to terms with it, I guess. So I'm really intrigued by this book, and because that's quite a big thing to do, I think. And I love anything about Virginia Woolf and anything to do with mourning, particularly for her father. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to get to that. I might get to that one in January, I think. Oh, the light is changing outside. It's getting dark now. Another one off my wish list, brought from my lovely dad, Feminism and Women's Writing by Catherine Riley. So this is an academic text that I have been after for a while, and it looks at contemporary women's writing. So, and it's got the writer, I think it's got Emma McBride, who I'm looking at for my PhD, so this is going to be super helpful for my research. But it looks at a whole range of authors like Angela Carter, Margaret Atwood, Toni Morrison, Zadie Smith and Hilary Mantel. So this will be really good for contextualising my research in the wider field of women's writing. Yay! Thanks, Dad, for buying all of my books on my wish list. We're nearly there, guys. Hang on. I've got a couple of comedy books. So from my lovely friend Simon, he got me How to Tell If Your Cat Is Plotting to Kill You, which I think probably would have been more useful when I had Marmaduke, my lovely baby boy. He died earlier this year and I miss him terribly, but he was a right wily beast and probably was plotting to kill me. Katie, not so much, because she doesn't do anything apart from sleep and eat. That's her modus operandi. But that's cool, right, Katie? So this looks super fun. I love anything about cats. So as an example, how to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you: kneading on you. You may think this is a sign of affection, but your cat is actually checking your internal organs for weaknesses. It sounds legit, to be fair. Excellent. I love a funny cat book. Then I got This Is This Country by Kerry and Curtin Mucklow. Now, I don't know if you've seen this country. If you haven't, I suggest you go and watch it immediately because it is hilarious. It's one of mine and Dan's favourite programmes. It's set in the Cotswolds, in a village, and it follows the lives of Kerry and Curtin, who are cousins in the show. They're actually brother and sister in real life. But they're just super funny and I bloody love them. And also follow them on Instagram because they crack me up. So it's written by Kerry and Curtin in their typical style, and it has such delights as poems by the parish pond, and threatening letters. There's one episode where Kerry received lots of threatening letters. They weren't threatening, more as slightly sexual, but she didn't understand that. So that's hilarious, and I shall dip in and out of that when my mate Holly is around because she loves this country as well. Yay, excellent. And the last two are cookbooks, which I was very excited to get. I've been after this one for a while because I've been doing the rounds on BookTube. Yes, at last I have a copy of The Green Roasting Tin. I know Lauren from Lauren the Books and Jen Campbell have been raving about this. And I do have the Quick Roasting Tin, which I've done a few recipes out of, and I just love it because it's super easy. Chuck it all in one pan, bosh, you got yourself dinner. Lush. But I really wanted this one because the Quick Roasting Tin had some meat dishes and stuff, and I'm a vegetarian. So I'm really excited to get to these veggie recipes, and we'll hopefully be trying some out in the new year when I have some people around for dinner. Oh, and it's just the food photography in here is just really nice. Oh, lovely. I love a cookbook. And also my other hero, the Home Cookbook by Monty and Sarah Don. I love Monty Don. I love Gardener's World. And I really miss it because it's not on in the winter. So I'm excited to get to this one. And I'm hoping this is going to be because he does a lot of growing his own vegetables, which is what I do on my allotment. Although I'm failing over winter because the only thing I've got in is Brussels sprouts and cabbage. So I'm hoping this is going to help me cook seasonally, which I try and do anyway. For when I don't get veg out of my allotment, I have a seasonal veg box and I cook. I try and cook seasonally. So I'm hoping this is going to help me do more of that and just make the most out of what I've got in my allotment. Because sometimes if I have a glut of things, I'm I don't know what to do with all of these courgettes. So I end up making chutney. So hopefully this will give me lots of good ideas for how to cook the veg that I grow. So that I think is all of my Christmas books. I'm so lucky. I've just had such a lovely lot of book presents this year, and I'm very, very thankful to all of my lovely family and friends who got them for me. So thank you very much, everyone that bought me a lovely book. I hope you've all had a lovely festive season and received lots of lovely book presents too. Talk to me in the comments. Tell me what you got for Christmas, what you're reading now, and I will see you again for another video very soon. Bye.